buddy?
Just fine, Jimmy Pickles.
Did you ever think that you would be having a serious conversation with a pickle?
Only with you.
Have you ever talked to a pickle before? Eye to eye?
I'm gonna have to plead the fifth on that one.
Oh, yeah. The 70s were a confusing time, weren't they, Dean?
Yes, they were.
I got you on that one. So, welcome everybody to the Jim and Dean Show, talking about copy as men do. As a quick reminder, thanks for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, and share. It really helps us out and allows us to keep bringing you amazing, notice I didn't say quality content, just amazing content.
Let the audience judge.
That's right. So honestly, though, if you can give us a little reaction, that would be great. Please do also give us a comment. I'd love to know what your favorite vegetable is. Please, all you eggplant fans, let us know. And if you can throw an emoji in there, that would be great as well. We'll be happy to share your comments. So please keep them R-rated or below. So today, Dean, we're talking about avatars, but we're not necessarily talking about blue people from a movie from back in the early 2000s, which popularized Blu-ray.
That's right. You are like a baby.
That was actually a really good movie.
It's great. It's a great movie.
I want a bulldozer that big. That'd be like, can you see me up in the top and that giant bulldozer the size of a strip mall?
I know.
Awesome.
I'd rather have a woman that can jump and fly in trees.
There you go.
You know.
There you go. So we're talking about avatars today. And avatars, for those of you who don't know, an avatar is let's say what an avatar is. An avatar is your understanding of your ideal customer. So that's really it in a sentence. I mean, it's your understanding, your definition, your profile of who your ideal customer is. And most people, when you ask them, okay, who's your avatar, who's your ideal customer, they say something like either related to statistics. So it's 60-year-old men balding in front of green screens in arid climates that enjoy parasailing and early morning hikes through the desert. Did I get any of that wrong?
You could sell me anything now.
Or gun-toting rednecks from 50-some-odd-year-old gun-toting rednecks from the swamps of Virginia who are looking for good deals on ammo.
That's right. Who sends their chickens out to get their prey.
Who pimp their chickens every morning in the name of content creation. So that's actually not too bad, because you at least have some understanding of who your customer is, or who your ideal customer is, who your avatar is. But most people never even get that exact in it. They'll say, okay, who's your avatar? Who's your ideal customer? Everybody. Someone with prostate problems. Well, okay, that can't be everybody, because there's 50% of the people don't have a prostate. I'm just saying. Which reminds me of a good line from Kindergarten Cop, which I will not repeat right here.
You could, because you already established that it was R-rated or above.
That wasn't R-rated, though. That was a PG movie.
Oh, so then it's okay to say.
What is your definition? If somebody asks you, hey, Dean, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, hey, Dean, give us your definition of an avatar. Maybe you could do a better job than I did.
Okay, so the first thing I would say is I can't think really well with a gun to my head.
Okay.
Okay. And if you shoot me, you'll never get the answer.
That's true. Okay.
And it is having a deep understanding of the people to anyone that you're speaking to. And if we're talking in terms of marketing, it's going to be who's your customer? Who's the customer that you want to serve? Who's the customer that you're going to enjoy serving? and not somebody just, if you're a mercenary and you're just doing this for money, you're going to be miserable.
Right.
Because then you're going to be attracting people who might be who you think's your avatar, but they're going to be a customer service micromanaging nightmare. So
if you can even get somebody to buy, I mean, that's the
right.
thing. If you can even take a stab in the dark and get somebody to actually buy.
So it's almost as if you're dating your audience, and you want to date your audience, right? You need to know, whoa, what do they like? What do they not like? What's going to turn them on? What's going to turn them off? And I'm not speaking in a sexual sense either.
I wasn't going sexual, but you were the one that brought it up. Way to go,
Your
Dean.
expression said it all. Your expression.
No.
There you go.
This says it all.
Who are they? The more you want to really know them, and I'm going to say this word, and I know where your head's going to go, you want to know your audience intimately.
Oh,
it's like going out on a date. It's the same thing. If you're not on the same page, it's going to be a very long, painful dinner.
Oh, it's going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, Mr. Aubergine.
Hey, baby. I'm Mr. Eggplant. So here, and Susan says, amen. I'm not sure what she said amen to, but there you go. Oh, the customer service nightmare thing. That's what she was saying. Amen
yeah, I don't
to.
think she was saying eggplants over pickles.
So I'm going to. So I'm going to read you an avatar profile. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually going to put it up on the screen, and I'm just going to read this. Okay. So if your avatar was a struggling writer, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So my avatar's name is Fred. Fred is a struggling part-time writer who dreams of becoming a New York Times best-selling author. Currently, Fred's focus is on ebook promotion and content marketing. Ultimately, Fred really wants to stop working for a boss and write full-time. Right this minute, Fred would be ecstatic if he could make more book sales, get more newsletter subscribers, and stop spending so much on ads and start making money selling books. Unfortunately, Fred still needs to figure out how to get more exposure without going broke buying ads, stand out from the crowd of all the other authors in the same niche, make more than just a couple of bucks off each book sale. Fred's also really frustrated by the fact that Amazon is super crowded with competing authors. Facebook and social media feel like yelling into an abandoned building. None of the experts agree on exactly what you should do to sell more books. Plus, he still feels he needs to get the answers to these questions before he can move forward. How do I build a real business around my book? How do I turn my book from a hobby that costs me money into a full-time stream of income? And how do I use social media to help me sell more books? Fred's also still hung up on the idea that selling is sleazy and manipulative. I'm an author, not a salesperson, and book selling is the publisher's job, not the author's job. In fact, he actually feels like traditional publishers don't want him to succeed with his ebook marketing or content promotion. Or ebook promotion and content marketing. When all said and done, Fred just wants to live the dream lifestyle of a successful author, make a difference and an impact on the world, and do something you love and make money doing it. To help Fred, I would invite him to check out my software, Author Wizards, at authorwizards.com, so he can experience true freedom as an author doing what you love without having to write a new book every week. I promise to show him how to enjoy rockstar author status, sell truckloads of books, and build a rabid tribe of followers and fans in as little as 15 minutes a day. So that, now that I've got that, which, by the way, that's a hell of a lot better than saying it's, you know, my avatar is a struggling part-time writer.
Right. And so here's what's wonderful about the avatar that you just read. In addition to being very detailed, is that you've identified your perfect audience, your perfect customer. You've identified what their identity is, what their current identity is, and what the future identity, what that person wants to become. You've identified their desires. You've identified their pain. You've identified the roadblocks, their objections, the results that they're looking for, their beliefs, their preconceived notions. You've identified who the enemy is, right? What they don't want, it's publishers and all of this stuff. And you identified, and you've talked about their future desires, their ideal person that they want to become for themselves and for the people in their life, their family, their kids, whoever. And you've also identified the ideal solution that's going to take care of all of those things that you named, that's going to satisfy the desires, the pains, the identity, all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the question becomes, once we've done that, what do we do with it? So it's like, now that we know this, and you might say, some people, I mean, those of you who say this, and Nancy put one in here that I'll put up. Well, let's look at Nancy's real quick. She says,
Sure.
Mine is Julia, a 32-year-old mid-level executive that just bought her first house and is ready to renovate her home. She has money, but doesn't have time to become a DIYer. She's confused about how to get started and worried about being taken advantage of by contractors. Does that work? That's a great start, but it's still not specific enough in a lot of respects. Like, what specifically is she afraid of besides being taken advantage of? What are the questions that she has? What's the ultimate outcome that she wants from this process? What are the objections that she has to doing this? What are the pain points that she's experiencing right now? How does she view herself? If she's not a DIYer, what is she? You've got to be able to know all of these different data points so that you can communicate effectively in a whole bunch of different ways with your ideal customer.
That's a wonderful question, because a lot of people think, well, how deep do I need to go?
Right.
And the answer is, go as deep as you possibly can. The internet there's so much in that profile you have is a wonderful start. And you can research that by going to certain forums. If she's going to be doing some light rehab or an interior decorator, I don't know exactly when you say this. When you first started talking, I thought, are you a mortgage broker? That's what I thought. Are you looking? And then you got into more detail. So you don't want to, the thing you want to avoid is confusing your audience, because if you're not specific enough, when you start writing copy or your messaging for that audience, if I thought immediately, are you a mortgage broker? Is she looking to refi her home?
Are you a contractor?
That's confusing.
Are you an interior decorator? Are you somebody that's down at the, and this is why it popped into my head, which you're probably not. Are you somebody at Home Depot? Yeah. Are you somebody at the place that's selling all of this stuff? Because right now we're building a house. So I'm very cognizant of the person behind the ticket desk at the building supply place that has my Amex. This is important to understand. And I think so that actually, Nancy, was a great start, and you are further ahead than most people. But the further in you dive, the better off you're going to be, because let's talk about all the different ways that you can use your avatar. So when you know this about your avatar, this is going to dictate your headlines. It's going to dictate your bullets, your stories, your offer, your
emails, your ads, your everything that you put out there to attract, that you're looking to anybody you're looking to attract into your fold,
right?
Or sell to, or get them to subscribe, whatever it is that you're putting out there.
Because this is how they're going to know that you're talking to them. So let me share with you all. I almost said you guys.
This will be great. I just want to say one thing, is that I think one of the big challenges is, and the big problems, is that because we know it internally and in our head, we're assuming that the audience knows what we're thinking. They don't. You've got to start at ground zero, step by step. And the best way to get it out of your head is to write it down.
Yeah.
And then read it to somebody in your family or a friend and say, who do you think I'm talking to?
Right.
What do you think I'm looking? Why am I writing this? What do you think I want out of this? And they'll tell you.
Look into my eyes and I will tell you a story. So I'm going to show this same information now, done not telling a third person story, but telling a story to your actual audience and see, and I want to see everybody's reaction to, if you were in this target audience and you saw this, how would you feel about this? Would this make you feel like this person really understood you? Okay. And if it doesn't make you feel that way, tell me in the comments. This is as much for my own edification, my edification, than it is yours. Okay. So imagine now they've taken some kind of a survey, and this gave me I got the idea for this, or doing it this way, from this past Friday when we did Friday funnels and we were doing survey funnels. And I had this epiphany that when someone filled out the survey and then they got to a specific landing page, having a message to let them know they're in the right spot. Okay, so they filled out the survey and you say, okay, based on your responses to this survey, I believe I know some things about you and your situation. Okay, so imagine that. That might set the stage a little better. Okay, Dean? So based on your responses, I believe I know some things about you and your situation. I know you're a struggling part-time writer who dreams of becoming a New York Times bestselling author. Currently, you're focused on ebook promotion and content marketing. Ultimately, you really want to stop working for a boss and write full-time. Right this minute, you'd be ecstatic if you could make more book sales, get more newsletter subscribers, and stop spending so much money on ads and start making money selling books. Unfortunately, you still need to figure out how to get more exposure without going broke buying ads, stand out from the crowd of all the other authors in the same niche, and make more than just a couple bucks off each book sale. You're also really frustrated by the fact that Amazon is super crowded with competing authors. Facebook and social media feel like yelling into an abandoned building, and none of the experts agree on exactly what you should do to sell more books. Plus, you still feel the need to get the answers to these questions before you can move forward. How do I build a real business with my book? How do I turn my book from a hobby that costs me money into a full-time stream of income? And how do I use social media to help me sell more books? Also, the idea that selling is sleazy and manipulative. I'm an author, not a salesperson, and book selling is a publisher's job, not the author's job, still gets you hung up moving forward. I got to work on this. This doesn't read right. In fact, sometimes it even feels like traditional publishers actually don't want you to succeed with ebook promotion or content marketing. When all is said and done, you just want to live the dream lifestyle of a successful author, make a difference and an impact on the world, and do something you love and make money doing it. If this sounds at all like you, I'd like you to check out my software, Author Wizards, at authorwizards.com, so you can experience true freedom as an author doing what you love without having to write a new book each week. I promise to show you how to enjoy rockstar author status, sell truckloads of books, and build a rabid tribe of followers and fans in as little as 15 minutes a day. Now, that's the exact same information, but it is redone in a way that it's not me talking about this amorphous person, but it's actually me talking to my target audience, trying to get them to self-identify. I'm just looking for any kind of feedback from the audience in the question, in the Q&A, in the comments, wherever you are. We're going live in 5 different places. A, is presenting it that way cool? And B, do you think that would resonate with somebody presenting it that way, really calling it out? Just totally curious. Dean, what's your reaction to that?
So my first reaction, and I'm going to say this is a personal bias of mine. I don't like people telling me what I need, should do, or want.
Okay.
So
that doesn't surprise me.
A lot. You need.
Okay.
And so my personal body puts up an internal defense to that, because I don't want to be, don't tell me what I need.
Okay.
That's my natural inclination. And I think and it's an easy fix.
Okay. Yeah. What's the easy fix?
So I'm not going to tell you yet. So it's just a matter of languaging. However, what that does do is, instead of talking in the third person, by talking directly to the person, you create an immediate connection and an emotional response, because and empathy as well, because you're saying, you know what, I understand you. I think I understand you. Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's the way to couch it. Tell me tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. Here's what I'm getting when I hear you, that you this, you that, or I'm hearing this from you. I'm hearing this from you. Because if you say you, sometimes people will tend to put up a defense. But if you say, here's what I'm hearing from you, if I'm understanding you correctly, yada, yada, and you can get the same information across, but yet it's more inviting.
Was that the fix, or
yes,
is there something more magical later?
No, there is no magic, but that's the fix. And for you, that would be magic.
Wow.
You beat
me
up.
That is not the first time, but the other thing in my own defense is that I just did this today and I'm still working on it. That's why I'm getting feedback.
Defensive. I think because you already prefaced by saying, I had this epiphany and I just put it out there. And I think it's fantastic because it's a refreshing way of presenting the same information where it doesn't feel like you're over there and I'm over here. It feels like we're sitting at a coffee, at a cafe, and you get me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I can, and with that in mind, I mean, I would probably rewrite, let me do this again and kind of do it on the fly. Okay. So let's look at this. Okay. Based on your responses, I believe I know some things about you and your situation. I think that's fine. I get the sense that you're a struggling part-time writer who dreams of becoming a New York Times best-selling author. Currently, your focus is on ebook promotion and content marketing.
And you could put it's on content marketing, right?
Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it would be great if you could stop working for a boss and write full-time.
Yeah.
Right this minute. In fact, right this minute, you'd be ecstatic if you could make more money, make more book sales, get more newsletter subscribers, stop spending so much money on ads and start making money.
So let's go back to that sentence. How about, this will just really mix it up. Ask the question. How about, let me ask you, it says,
would you be ecstatic if you could?
Blah, blah. Yeah. Now, see, you're inviting me by asking right and asking a question. You're inviting me. You're inviting me to lean in.
Right. Okay. That would be great. But unfortunately, there are a couple of issues you still need to figure out.
Well, unfortunately, I get the sense that there's some roadblocks here. Tell me if I'm wrong. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay. Well, not blah, 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 but unfortunately, I get the sense there are also some roadblocks, like figuring out how to get more exposure, blah, 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 that blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're also probably frustrated by the fact that blah, blah, blah.
Oh, another thing. Are you frustrated by the fact that?
Ooh, I like that. Another thing. Are you really frustrated by the fact that, okay, question mark. Okay. Plus, you still feel the need to get the answers to these questions before you can move forward.
Yes, and are you asking yourself? And are you asking yourself these questions?
Are you constantly asking yourself these questions about how to move forward?
Yeah.
Okay. Also,
okay. Also, are you thinking that selling is?
Are you thinking selling is sleazy and manipulative, or I'm an author, not a salesperson, or even book selling is a publisher's job, not the author's job, ...
Right.
And this is still hanging you.
Right. And in parentheses, I know exactly how you feel. I've been there myself.
I know exactly how you feel. I've been there by myself. In fact, sometimes it even feels like traditional publishers are actively trying to sabotage your success with ebook promotion and content marketing.
Boy, don't I know it.
When all is said and done, you just want to blah, 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 blah. I think that's fine.
Yeah. When all is said and done, you really just want to.
Yeah. You really just want to this. And if this sounds at all like you, I'd like to invite you to, I promise to show you. I think that reads a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's a matter of taste and preference and personality, right?
Right. So the thing, here's somebody who obviously uses these things. Where you have roadblocks, could you make that a rotating list so people could choose the word they prefer? Yes. At some point, once I get this down, then I can start coming, I can break out my thesaurus and I can come up with a whole bunch of different ways of saying the same thing. And then it would make it pretty freaking amazing and cool. And that's the kind of thing I do at 4 o'clock in the morning when I've got my first cup of coffee in me and I'm feeling really, really creative and on. That's like a first thing in the morning thing, not a 4 o'clock in the afternoon thing, but that's definitely doable.
Sure. Nancy says, Lawler, I was always afraid of making too many assumptions, but this process makes a bunch of interesting and so much easier to target. Yeah.
Yes. And these aren't assumptions. These are this is factual stuff. If you know your target audience, this is not guessing. You can go find this stuff out. All you got to do is use the Google and look at your help desk, look at yourself, look at reviews, look in Facebook groups, the questions people ask, forums. Yeah.
You know, there's Reddit, go to Amazon, read book reviews and don't read them, and read them for the personal, emotional responses that people have in terms of a book or a product.
Yeah. Do we want to look at one more real quick? Leslie shared hers. Sure. You want to look at it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine is Jack. Jack recently retrenched from his 9-to-5 job due to the pandemic. He wants to build a sales process through online to promote other people's products. He's got to understand what is a sales funnel, but cannot decide which kind of tool or software to use to build an online business. There are a lot of choices out there, but then again, he doesn't know what kind of features to consider. He's afraid to lose his limited money through trial and error. How about that? That's a great start.
It is a great start. Now, that's from Leslie.
Uh-huh.
So the thing is, people aren't really actively seeking. Yep. On the face of it, they're looking for, oh, what piece of software do I get? But you have to look behind it. Because if this is somebody who is maybe furloughed from his job, or he lost his job, or he's just realized, I've had all this time off, I don't think I want to go back to my job for whatever reason, it helps to know what that reason is.
Right.
What's going through his head that since the pandemic, and now he's made this decision. If you know why he made that decision, that he wants to start selling his own products or services or offers online, and he's looking for it, you got to back that up for your avatar.
Right. So that's
frustrations that are leading him to that, or the desire that's drawing him to that.
It's both. Like actors and stuff who say, what's my motivation here? What's my motivation? And that's why you need to know the results that they want. Ultimately, motivation is a desired result. And a desired result is usually an outcome or the solving of a problem.
Right. And if you can connect, Leslie, with the emotional reason why Jack, your avatar, wants to do this, the software or anything that he's looking to buy is going to sell itself. It's really immaterial. Right. You just have to sell him the emotional result and satisfaction. That's it.
And tie it to the solution.
Right. Tie it and anchor it to the solution.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So then my last question is, if I were to make this tool that I was playing around with here available to you for no cost, is that something that you would be interested in getting your hands on? This is the avatar wizard inside of the Jim Edwards Method Premium. But if I were to make this freely available at no cost, would that get anybody excited? Because not only will it output it like this, but you could even output it as a docx file, and you could output it as a Word doc, and also a PowerPoint slide deck, so you could incorporate it into presentations and things of that nature. Be pretty cool, I think. Anybody think that would be good? Oh, wait. Let me hit refresh. Let me hit the refresh button. Sometimes if you leave it open, we got security and stuff built into this. There we go. This to keep the hackers at bay. It's opening on one of my 5 different screens here, but I was going to show you that it really, this does actually create the PowerPoint. So imagine being able to include this in a webinar or a training or something of that nature. So here's Fred in a slide deck, and you can, and I'm going to work on those other outputs as well on different slide decks and stuff. So I was just curious if anybody would be interested in that. Nobody wants it, Dean. It's terrible. All I'm seeing here is all these no's and hell no's, and nobody wants it. It's like, that's all I'm seeing is people saying no. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, it's just, no, I haven't seen one yes yet.
I haven't seen one yes at all. It's terrible.
Hackers at bay is a good thing.
There you go. Okay, well, that was all I had. Just thought we'd talk about this, as men do, and go over some stuff. Here's a tease for y'all. Dean and I are working on a special project that is going to be releasing here in the next, it'll be the next 30 days, right? Better be.
Most.
Yeah.
We just got to get this puppy to market.
We're getting the webinar done. We were working on the webinar before we jumped on here, and that's why we, oh, thank you, Rick. Rick knows the way to my heart. Your stuff is awesome. He's probably talking to you, Dean. It's like, you suck, Jim. We love Dean. But we're getting the webinar together, and then we're going to be putting some stuff out. And it does revolve around an avatar. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. So, as men share, Wojtek says. All right. Felipe says, I'm cooking while listening. What are you cooking, Felipe? Something yummy?
Donuts, perhaps? Are we having donuts? Who knows?
All right. I'm done. Thanks for joining us. Dean, if they want to get in touch with you and hire you to write amazing sales copy, what should they do?
You can reach out to me at onebigIdeaMarketing@gmail.com. And that's the numeral 1. One Big Idea Marketing at Gmail.
Don't listen to me when I said the letter 1. It's the letter 1. And I would tell you, if you don't have a copy of Copywriting Secrets yet, you are wrong. This is the book that is taking the world by storm.
Jim, show them what you just got and how popular that book is from the folks at ClickFunnels. Show them.
In fact, to do that, I should take the whole screen, Dean. I got the 2 Comma Club Award for Copywriting Secrets, which means that we have sold over $1 million through the Copywriting Secrets book funnel in the last 11 months.
Come on, give yourself applause.
Pretty awesome. And that's pretty cool. So people are loving the book. Over 40,000 copies have been sold around the world, and that's not including all the sales on Amazon. But if you'd like a free copy and the ability to pick up also the audiobook, go to copywritingsecrets.com. I will ship you a free copy. All you got to do is just pay shipping and handling, and it will make a huge difference in your life.
And so, Felipe cooked you pasta.
I would like some pasta. I'm having pasta tonight. My wife doesn't know it. When she asks me what I want for dinner, I'm going to say pasta because Felipe is having pasta right now. Dang it. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Super great to see you. Hope you enjoyed the Jim and Dean show. Thanks, everybody who participated, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.